I'm Karen Hutton, and we're doing a virtual photo walk in Hovenweep, Utah, which is what we're hoping to get down to are the ruins of, I think they're 1,000 to 2,000 years old, of ancient, Native American civilizations who lived here. I'm not sure about this place, but in many of these ruins, there are multiple cultures that lived in the same place. Apparently this one has pretty well-formed ruins left. So I'm shocked that we have 3G, but we're going to give it a shot and see how much we can see. I'm going to walk you down the path.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm going to turn it around so you can see where we're going. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I can't see much, so you'll have to guide me as far as what you can hear and see.
Well,
Ain't much out here.
If we see a rattlesnake, we'll let you know.
Thank you. That'd be awesome. Walking by. Oh, well, here. Would you like to see Mormon tea? Can you see that? You can actually make tea out of that. My husband Joe, who should be coming along here shortly, can you see it? Yeah.
Yes.
You steep it, and he says it tastes a lot like chamomile.
Oh.
Early pioneers used to produce a non-caffeinated tea for treating colds and indigestion. Interesting. Well, I'll have to look that one up. Oh, we have Utah juniper. Does anybody find this interesting? So this is Utah juniper. Has a thin, fibrous bark that becomes thicker and shredded with age. The bark was used for fire starter, baby diapers, and sleeping mats. Utah juniper. I didn't know that. Stronghold House, Little Ruin Canyon we're approaching. Ooh. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you the sign that I'm looking at. Visible from this point are some of the towers and structures of the Square Tower community. So, holy cow, right here. Wow. Oh my God, guys. Oh. Okay, this is freakishly. All right, let me see if I can do this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Wow, whoops. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this up. All right. Okay, I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do, I do a lot of HDR. I don't make everything HDR, but I have a tendency to shoot multiple exposures, particularly when I'm shooting something like this, because I love these textures, and that's the best way to get all the detail. And then I can choose to actually HDR or not, but I've got all the data that I will need later. So I'm letting it focus, and now, oh, ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so I just kind of want to get like the basic overview. I have a tendency, I'm not really sure what I would find here, but I have a tendency to go and shoot just, plain old, just document everything. I'm going to walk over here now and see what we got. And then I'll switch lenses and maybe try and get some interesting perspective. Maybe I'll throw a wide angle on. We've got some really interesting skies here tonight. Let me see what. Oh yeah. So I like this. What are you seeing? Oh yeah, you're seeing. I like
beautiful.
this with the sky. And with, yeah, and you see how brilliant the bright the sky is by shooting multiple. I mean, a lot of you may know all this stuff, but by shooting multiple exposures like this, I'll get all the depth and all the colors in the clouds. That was a little bright. I'm gonna actually do it again with a darker. We get some darkers. Oh yeah.
Beautiful clouds.
God, with this lens, you should see this. I'll show it to you. Better yet,
Well, that's beautiful.
access it, post it. And you can see it. Oh my God. Okay. This is... Do any of you remember who was this in the beginning? How old did they say these ruins were?
About 1,000, 1,500 years old, I think.
Yeah.
2,000-year-old.
So better saying 2,000.
I know we stopped at a place called Newspaper Rock yesterday and took a bunch of pictures. Let's see where we can. Back on the. And they had writings there from multiple civilizations over 2,000 years, over the course of 2,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't all one culture and they weren't all one language. And since there's no, they didn't write a dictionary, nobody is entirely sure what they mean. So, the light being what it is, I'm going to use this lens, what they call my howitzer, to get some close-up. I think we're going to have a really rad sunset later. So, I don't know if we'll still be on the horn, but I think it's going to be pretty gorgeous. Unit type house. What the heck is that? I have no clue, but you see like all this mortar-y stuff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll make something up. How about that? Because I'm like the expert on the ancient Indian mortar. Here we have the ancient. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I can't see you.
Do the Vanna White thing.
Here we have the ancient mortar. Anyway, I don't know if they have done restoration. You really can't tell.
It actually, it isn't. I can tell you if you then want to tell. I have studied these cultures.
Really?
It's ancestral Pueblan culture. It used to be called Anasazi, but that is not the politically correct term now. They like to be called ancestral Pueblan. So you can, if you want to say.
I did not know that. I didn't know because I knew Anasazi, but know the other. This is. I want to show you.
So Monica, Pueblan, that's where the Pueblo, Colorado came from?
Yes, there is a group now called Pueblans, but they're called ancestral Pueblans. So they're the ancestral peoples of the ancestral tribal group of the Pueblans who now live there.
This is crooked.
That is fantastically sharp. What a great picture.
Yeah.
Is it? This
Yeah, I can see the scorpions crawling around.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
Here we have, this is like, you can see like the little stones that are shoved in there to, I don't know, shore up the shorings. As I sit here and shoot some of the more epic types of shots that I love to do, I also love walking up here and just going, man, their hands touched this,
Yeah.
They did this. And they mixed this stuff and they shoved these little stones in there. And what else can I show you about this?
Well, that's a beautiful shot, just looking down the side of the wall.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you looked off to the right going down the path. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Right down the path as it wraps around the wall.
Good composition. Good composition.
Oh, do you like that? Oh, I see what you're saying. It looks as though they burned in there. It looks as though there might be some smoke marks. And there's like a little bench, and there's like different layers in this little. What do you call it? A pueblo?
Well, it depends on which time period this is from. There were different. They built on top of their old ruins, So you had, there are, without, reading the different plaques, I wouldn't be able to tell you, because there's a lot of different scholarly work, and they did build on top of old ruins. But there is do you see a ladder around?
No, these don't have ladders. Perfect Kiva, we drove by the entrance. It would take you to
Okay. Because, yeah, if there's a kiva around or a hole into the ground, then it could be a...
like that.
That's very nice.
The close one. Here, I'll do my, although I'm probably too close. Can you see me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we have the towers, and here we have the la. You know the name. Had I actually stopped and read the plaques, I would know this. So let me charge my phone, and we'll start all over. This is my first time doing a virtual hangout by myself. I did one actually with Ricardo Lagos in Portland at the Chinese Gardens there.
Yes.
And watched him do it. But
Well, and Karen, a lot of this is a puzzle, like even scholars don't know a lot of what all of this is, because there is no text to tell us a lot of this.
Too, Monica, the thing is that these are all built, like, I don't know, I know that many of them are built on top of one another, but this is just solid rock.
Mm-hmm.
So it must just be.
So, question.
Yes.
They lived or they built their homes on basically precipices?
Yep.
Was it because of looking out for their enemies, or why would they build on precipices?
That's a good question, Larry. The reason they were called Anasazi for a long time is Anasazi means the enemy, and that is why they were renamed Ancestral Pueblans, because it was a term of respect, and the Pueblans wanted to be called, renamed in respect, and not renamed the enemies. So
maybe they could climb up into these shelters and pull the ladders up after them and be a little more secure.
Except for the part where you can literally do what we did, which is walk up the backside. Just walk in the back door.
But I'm sure the landscape probably changed over the thousands of years.
Yeah, you would think.
Maybe they just like the view.
John is right, though, because one dwelling, they know that is the reason. They would climb up there, and then they'd pull up the ladder, and they could seal that off.
Okay.
But that might not have been the reason for all of them.
Because you see those in the Southwest with the ladders where they're literally built into the wall of the rock. Not like you can't approach them from the back. The only way in is the ladders. This is not the case here. So maybe it was just a more peaceful time. I know too, the one like this morning, the flaming fireplace. They were built underneath the rock, so the rock overhung, so that if it rains, it doesn't rain into the dwelling at all. And it's near a creek, and it's protected from the weather, and they can see anybody coming, and it's pretty secure. And then they would have dwellings in places, like they would bury their people somewhere else, and they stored their grain somewhere else, and they lived somewhere else, but within a reasonable walking distance, but all pretty secure and protected. This, not so much, and I don't think it would have been that much different. Shall I wave or do the peace sign?
Peace is good.
Shall I wait? I should do it on this side, huh?
Yeah.
There you go. Got it.
Got it? Awesome. I want to see that. This is so cool. I have no idea when my phone's going to die. I'm sure it's soon. But so before it does, I want to say thank you, John, for pursuing and following me until we had a signal and had this happen, because I didn't know how to plan it, and I really, really wanted to do this. So I'm beyond excited that we got to do it. And I just want to thank everybody for coming along because this is a blast.
Well,
Really educational to me.
Thank you so much.
Virtual Photo Walks thanks you, and you're, I don't know where you're and how you found this, but your bandwidth is awesome, and the pictures are just fantastic.
Yeah.
I am so glad. It's kind of a miracle as far as I'm concerned. We all prayed for this to happen, so... Whoa, here's another screenshot.
I got it.
Karen, I was going to say, if you don't mind, once you get home and you start to do some of your processing that you were talking about, if you want to tag Virtual Photo Walks, that'll give us a little pointer right back to some of the HDR pictures that you've been taking.
Fantastic. And I will be happy to do that. I'm sort of like, okay, you guys, where's the rest of it?
I would love to share these photographs.
I'm loving that shadow though in the rock.
Yeah, this is I know this is a great picture.
Yeah.
Can you walk like an Egyptian?
Yes, I can. I'm going to take my headset off because I'm not wireless. I'm going to take it off and walk over there. I'll wave and then I'll come back. Okay?
Yeah.
Hold on. Here we go.
Thank you very much for taking us there before you totally lose your signal. It was an awesome find that you have. Every move you're making is just a fantastic picture, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I wish this could go on longer. I wish I had an extra battery. So there's that.
Doesn't get much better than that, boys and girls.
That's timing.
Yeah.
That is what Virtual Photo Walks is in a nutshell, right?
That was really good.
That's what we tried to do.
She was a great narrator too. She's got that voiceover voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a great voice.
The voice for
She was wonderful.
on the iPad, so she's a professional voice announcer.
Voiceover person. Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. That was a wonderful photo walk.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I got to see a place that I've always wanted to see, so now I could scratch that off my bucket list.
There you
Me
go.
too.